Hello, welcome to the No Rest for the Vivid podcast. My name is Claire Hill, self-belief and business coach and founder of the Vivid Business Club. Thank you very much for choosing my voice to go into your ear holes. How are you doing? How's summer for you right now? I sent out an email to my mailing list last week and created a piece of content all about this pricing thing, about how I was having a conversation with somebody about charging worth and how sometimes to attract more sales, you just have to increase your price. Now that right now, it might sound to you as like, what the frig is she talking about? That doesn't make any sense. But there is so much evidence to say that it's true. Like if you're not charging your worth, people are going to sense that and think you don't know your stuff, so won't want to buy from you. So what I wanted to do is a 3-part series on this, which will come so that you'll have one episode today. Obviously, I've started it. One episode next Monday, and then an episode after that. 3-part series, all about why you're not charging your worth right now, and why in all of these factors really impact sales. And I think we forget. Well, and I'm going to just start really quickly about, and I'm going to go on to part 1 is about imposter syndrome. But I think we forget that we're not our ideal customer, our dream client. So imposter syndrome, when we are comparing ourselves with other people and looking at the quality and we don't believe the quality that we produce, it's one of the most significant factors in not charging your worth. So this is part 1. Part 2 next week is all going to be about fear. And then part 3 is going to be about strategy. Imposter syndrome is all about the fact that you don't believe that you have the skills to run your business. So I'm going to say that again. The reason you're not charging your worth, if what that reason is imposter syndrome, you don't believe you have the skills to run your business. When you don't believe that you've got the skills to run your business, you're going to constantly compare yourself. You're going to constantly have that lack of confidence, and people can literally smell it off you, right? You probably do have moments where you're like, I am queen of the fucking world. But these moments are few and far between. And these moments actually can give you a lot of momentum and motivation in your business. And it may be that you're like, do you know what? I'm ready. I'm going to do some content. Yeah, I've got some beautiful products, or you've had a really successful weekend and you just feel like, oh, it's a fluke. It isn't usually. I've always found that the more confident I feel in myself about my business, the more sales I get. The more it's just been, and that is product and service based. And remember, when I talk to you about selling, I'm talking from a product based business point of view, running Vivid Wire as I did for so long, and service based business. So I absolutely get both sides, but also in my service, but in the coaching, selling the Productivity Academy, which is a pre-recorded course. It's my evergreen product. It's a product. Service-based business, you still got to sell products. It just might mean that it's a bit different. Unless it's done for you services, fair enough. But anyway, whenever I'm staying in my own lane, I am making or creating whatever I'm creating for my business from a sense of pure joy and just feeling absolutely fantastic about what I'm doing, I will sell, because people are attracted to that like energy of it. By the way, if someone works better than you, work out why they're better and get good. Like use it as inspiration, not as a something to beat you up with and just be like, oh God, well, I'm never going to be that good. What's the point? Because this is the thing with imposter syndrome, perfectionism. It's going to get you because it's going to say, your doubt's going to be like, what's the point in starting? What's the point in doing this? Don't show up today. No one's going to care. No one's going to care because so-and-so exists, whatever business that is. That's not what it's about. Imposter syndrome, when it gets in your way, it is making you out to be the same as everybody else. Well, how is that possible? You're not. You don't want to be the same as everybody else. You want to be completely unique. You want to be your most vivid self. You want to be your most authentic self, showing up as you. This is where, go listen to the episodes all about getting to know yourself, journaling, all of that. That's what you want to be focusing on. But I really believe that you can be cured of imposter syndrome. And I'll tell you why. If you know where your lane is, you know who you are, the only person you're comparing yourself to is the you were yesterday. And I only want to be better than I was yesterday. I want to be always looking after my future self. So if there's anybody that happens to come along on the Instagram, which I don't compare myself very often because again, I've done this work. So, but I did used to. If anybody, I can feel that trigger of envy or jealousy. I go, oh, that's interesting. Why do I feel like that? Okay, let's do a little bit of investigating here. And it may be that they've had a brand shoot where they look more than their vivid self. And I mean, I've got some brilliant brand photos. I'm actually having another shoot soon because I wanted some more with leopard print and a little bit more. I've just grown even since the last brand shoot. I think when you're growing quickly, you can look at photos of yourself and be like, oh my God, who is that? Oh, I don't recognise her. Or it could be that somebody's content looks really slick. So if they're recording a podcast or something and it just looks so slick, then yeah, I'm going to be like, well, how can I get better at that? What can I do? What can I tweak? Those little degrees in our 2 degrees here, 2 degrees there to make it even better. So I have more confidence and self-belief to show up. But ultimately, I'm in my own lane. I mean, fair enough, we've got to do some competitive analysis. There's probably people shouting going, you've got to do your market research, 100%. But don't allow that to hold you back and compare. Don't compare yourself and use it to beat yourself up. That just does not work. People sense that. So when you are not believing in your skills, you're not going to charge the right amount. The reason I know that is because I've worked again and again and again on those skills you need to believe in yourself and your confidence. If you aren't seeing your worth in your work, that is another conversation actually. But I want you to start from this episode. I want you to go and look at your most favourite piece that you've ever made or your most favourite thing that you do. Okay. So whether that's a course or a product or a service, whatever it is, I want you to get that and I want you to marvel at how friggin' amazing it is. And can we just stop for a second as well? I want you to stop right now and give yourself a round of applause because I'm applauding you because do you understand that you have created a business out of nothing? You've done that. You know how powerful that is. Just give yourself a round of applause. So that's for the first thing. Get that product, service, course, whatever it is. And just think, what are the 50 things that I love about this? Why should somebody buy it? 50 reasons. I know that's a tall order, by the way. But this is something I want you to work on over time. So say if you create earrings, your earrings are going to give that edge in someone's personality. They're going to give the finishing touch to that outfit. They're going to add a splash of colour say if they have to wear dreary clothes to work, they have a splash of colour in their ears so that it gives them a sense of them as they walk into the office. It gives them more confidence when talking up in a meeting. When they're at the school gates and there's an issue with their child and somebody else and they've got to be brave and speak to the teacher, they have that inner confidence because they're showing up as their most vivid self. Does your product, if it's jewellery, clothing, Does it help people to show up as their most vivid self? If you're an artist, that pride when somebody walks into your house and goes, oh my God, where did you get that? I have art all over my house as well as wire art. We met some new friends, somebody that my husband works with, and I hadn't met his other half before. And he was saying to her, that Dan's friend was saying, you've got to see their house. It's like a boutique hotel. And I was like, shut up, boutique hotel. And he was like, it is. It's amazing. I was like, oh, okay, thanks very much. And then, when they came in, I did a full tour, and she was like, oh my God, I love that. Where did you get that big print? Where did you get, oh, what do those words mean? Like, oh, I love that photo. I just love it. It's like this sense of pride. By it being an artist, you give that to somebody, but it's the meaning in that art, the fact that you made that with your heart and soul, that is sprinkled and woven in with magic. Anything that you make like that, sprinkled and woven with magic, and that magic then seeps into their body. And what I teach you when you're in the Vivid Business Club is to have time in your business where it is complete joy. You are making for the sake of it. You are organising for the sake of it. I'm just thinking of one member, and she loves doing certain organisation stuff. That's your joy. For me, my joy is creating courses and writing. When I'm in that joy, it just boosts up all of my other energy. Doing this podcast probably is part of my joy as well. When we do that, it just fuels us up. It boosts our warrior energy so that we have more confidence in our skills. But doing that exercise of like 50 reasons, allow yourself to explore the transactions outside of the money ones, like of energy, of joy, of positivity, of beauty, of just loving something, or loving the person. There is a lot to be said about people buying from people. And this is the reason to show up when you get that confidence and you're able to price your worth. Your confidence is boosted. You show up more. And because of that, you will make more sales. You will make more sales because of the confidence you have in your product. And by charging that, you'll be more visible. You'll make more sales. Okay, so in summary, I would love you to do that list of 50 things about that product or your business. Why should somebody buy from you? 50 reasons why somebody should buy from you. Then I want you to look at your stuff and start thinking, what do I enjoy the most? How can I do more of that? And then armed with your 50 reasons why people should buy from you, I want you to start pricing accordingly. Now, this is a 3-part series. The next week is all about fear. So you're probably scared of not making the sales by increasing your prices. Week after that is about pricing strategy. So I'm going to talk about it. But I give you the goal to please DM me if you do this. I give you the goal, the challenge of increasing your prices by just 5%. Just do that. 5%, round it up if it becomes a weird number. I want you to increase your prices by 5% and then let me know how you got on with that. Okay, before I go, don't forget August, we have the competition going for any written reviews in Apple Podcasts. You will be entered into a draw to win £20 voucher of your choice. And just between me and you, if you're thinking of joining the Vivid Business Club, you really need to get your name on that list, on my wait list. You can find it on my website, or you can find it in the show notes, or in my bio on Instagram. You're going to want to do that. If you're thinking about it, give yourself the option. Look after your future self. Get your name on that wait list. Okay, hopefully that's helped. I will be back in a week with part 2. Enjoy your business. I was going to do a Jerry Springer thing then. Look after yourself and each other. I'll speak to you soon.